Hey guys, it's Jay here from Storage Rack Solutions. I want to thank you for buying your 3-rack poly recycled rack in a box, our #1 selling rack across North America. This is what it's going to look like once we're done assembling, and this video is intended to show you how to put your arms and the foot on the back of the rack. So let's get started, and you'll see it's pretty straightforward. Moving forward on the workbench here, you can see this is what's going to come in your box. When you open up the box, remove everything, and the first thing I want you to do is to divide the rack to A, B, C, D, and E as one side of the rack, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the other side. So look at the parts, you'll see that they are labeled, and I've already done that for you here just to show you. So this is one side, and that's the other side. So during this video, I'm only going to assemble one side, and then all you have to do is repeat exactly what we're going through on the opposite side. There is a left and a right to the rack. That's why we do this. And I find when I'm assembling this, if I do it on a flat surface, it makes life really easy. So maybe a picnic table or a workbench, or if you've got a flat surface like a deck or a dock, that'll work as well. You can do it by yourself. If you're not so handy, if this is something that's kind of new to you and you're a little nervous about it, you can work with a partner to help hold parts while you fasten them. You could also build this vertically as well, but you will need a second set of hands if you're going to do it that way. Okay, so let's do it this way. I find it much easier. So inside your box, you're also going to have this, which you've already found. And inside, as you know, it's the little warranty piece of paper. It also on here has the link that you found. And it also talks about your responsibility on how to put this up and also to ensure that the stability is good and that you load the rack properly. So some just safety little tips there. Also, we talk about our warranty on here. Our contact information is here if you need to get a hold of us anytime. Just reach out. You'll always get Jeff or Jay, the two owners. That doesn't happen too much more in business these days, but customer service is very, very important for us. Tools required, very simple. You're talking a drill and a #2 Robertson bit. Can you see on the end here? This is a square bit. It's called a #2 Robinson square bit. Okay, that's all you need. And then also it has all the list of the parts. Just verify, make sure everything's there, and we're good to go. Okay, so let's set that aside. Inside we have our rope tethers, and you can see on the rack behind me, we just loop it around this top section, and this tether goes up over your crafts all the way down to the hole in that side, securing them in place. Very important. We talk about that in the paperwork. If you're in a bit of a windy area, it's very easy for the boats to slide off in a strong wind, so make sure they're tethered down. Okay, there's our tethers. And also the pads, you can see on the rack behind, there's 6 pads. So let's set these aside. Those are 6 pads that we can slip on after. Put that away. Okay, so we got left and right side. So let's take the 2 feet here and here. Let's just get them off to the side. And this I'm going to push just out of the way. Okay. Our bottom arm, our middle arm, and our top arm. Okay, so we're ready to go. What I like to do too is also separate my screws into 2 sizes. So we got the 2.5 and we got a 1.5. So just group them up. So these ones are slightly different shades, so it actually makes life a little easier. Separate those. So there's 16 of the longer screw, and we always add an extra just in case. So at the end, if you're assembling and you have an extra screw or 2, don't worry, you likely didn't miss anything, okay? And then on this side, we have 28, and I believe we throw an extra screw or 2 in there as well. So, okay, ready to go. First thing I want you to do is take the first backer, which is backer A. See that? Okay, and we're going to lay it on its side, just like that. Now, 3 arms. So the big one right here is the bottom. So that is B. And we're going to take B and we're going to line it up with B on the rack. So every time you see a number or a letter, you want to match it. So this is going to slide in just like this. Just like that. Perfect. Now, you don't have to use a clamp. I like to use a clamp just to keep things steady. There we go. Okay, lined up with the bottom, nice and tight against the back. Okay, next one is C. C right here and C on the rack. Now, the nice thing with this one, when we put this in, this is going to be your guide to keep it. You don't want it on an angle, that way or that way. You want to sit it nice and flush on the surface. Slide that right back until it hits. Okay, perfect. Now we'll do the top, which is D. Set it on there, slide it in until it hits. Perfect, okay? Now, using the longer 2.5 screws, this is what secures the backer to the arms, okay? Let's start down at the bottom. You can zoom right in on this. This is important. Okay, so the back, you're going to notice that everything is pre-drilled. You see all that? All the pre-drilled holes ready to go. But the receiving material, which is on the inside of the arm, is not pre-drilled. Okay? The reason for that is when this screw goes through the pre-drilled hole and penetrates the raw material, it's going to create maximum bite and maximum strength. Okay? So let me give you a tip on how to tighten this up. Can you see that, Jeff? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so let's start with this one here. Start by going really slow. Get that screw started. Okay? Now, I want you to put your hand on this, hold it steady. Okay? A little weight on it, and then you don't go real fast. Don't, just gentle. And right at the end, the last section is important because do you see how it pushed this out a little bit? So very gently with the drill, finesse it. You want to just snug that up. Watch how that works. Beautiful. Don't over crank it. It's all about just taking your time. Get it started. And right at the very end, just slow down and a little snug. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay? Let's repeat with the middle arm. We're doing the exact same thing. Okay, holding tight. Right at the very end. Beautiful. You see why a flat surface is nice. Beautiful. 2 more at the top. Again, make sure that's nice and tight against the back. There we go. Okay. Now this might sound crazy, but just remember when you're doing all this, make sure at the very start, when you start to put this together, that your drill is on forward, okay? Forward means the bit is turning clockwise. It's important because if you don't do this often, you might not think about it. And if this is on reverse and you're trying to get a screw in, it's just going to spin. It won't penetrate and you're going to think, oh, something's wrong. But it's not the case. Just, again, it's a little thing. We work with these all the time, so it's something we're conscious of, but that might be a little simple mistake that would make you worry that something might be wrong. So, forward, okay? You can check out our 2-rack video. I tell you the story of that. It's pretty funny if you want to check out that video. Okay, so we got the backs done. Now we're going to come down through the top, which we need the shorter screws. Okay, let's start right at the bottom. These are super easy. Just put a little weight. Snug them up at the end. Again, don't over tighten because they may strip and spin. See how it lifts a bit? Then snug it up. There we go. to the next one. Now, before you tighten this, make sure this is tight. If it's a bit open like that, just squeeze it tight. There we go. Okay, and the top one. Again, right here. See this right here? We want to make sure that's, you don't want it open. So just make sure that's tight. Perfect. Okay. That's beautiful. Just double check. We got the backs all down through the top. Now, this part here is very important. What I like to do is turn the rack up onto its side. See the hole right here? So we're going to go through this one with a long. That's very important. This 45-degree support or gusset underneath this arm is very important. So we want to make sure we put a nice long one in there. Again, start slow. You're going to notice it's going to push this away. But you see the gap? But just hold on tight and just finesse it and let it tighten itself. Beautiful. Okay, one more. Beautiful. Okay. Now, let's take this, tip it up like so. Perfect. Okay. So here is E. So we're going to find E. And there it is. See the E? So this is designed to go through here and onto here. Pretty snug fit. There we go. Beautiful. Now the reason we designed it this way is see how flush this is? The beautiful thing about that is that you can, if you wanted to secure this to a wall, you could. You could screw it right to the wall, nice and flush. Or you might want to take another set of 3 racks and put it back to back. You'll see in the product information video, I explain that very well and give you an example of how that looks. But that's why we do that. Turn a 3 rack into a 6 rack. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's tighten these up. We've got 4 shorties there to do. Again, use your hand just to squeeze everything tight. And don't bury them too deep. The screw will tell you when to stop squeezing that trigger. Beautiful. Ta-da! All right, let's check it out and see how we did. So this is just one side. You're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side, but looking pretty good. Now, the reason there's a left and a right is that you see all the hardware here. Okay? But on this side, you don't see any hardware. It looks beautiful. So you want this to be on the outside, then the next one on this side. So all the screws and everything are hidden. Looks much nicer. All right, so that's all there is to it, guys. And first of all, I just want to say thank you very much for supporting us. We're a small business, Jeff and I, and we've been in this for a lot of years, over 20 years now. And, you know, your comments and your feedback are very important to us. And we're available anytime. You can email us. You can call us on our cells anytime. It's not too often you get the owners of a company, but we're always available to talk. And there's just the 2 of us working here. So we really appreciate that. And customer service means a lot to us. Okay, so again, thanks so much. Send us your comments. We love reviews. If you bought it off of our website, you could send us a little review, and we'd be happy to put it up in our gallery. Send us your pics as well. I love that. And if you bought this off of Amazon, one of the most important things for a small business on Amazon to survive and do well is a beautiful comments and a great rating. So please give us a great rating, and we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.